anticipation. The weather may be getting cooler, but there's warmth and anticipation down on the field right now, getting ready for this night, Anthony.
No doubt about that one, partner. Anticipation for history and also growth in this Hawkeye passing attack they're hoping to see.
Marcus Lai handles the kickoffs for UMass, and here's the return for Terrell Washington Jr. It's a nice return, and Gronowski takes the field tonight as the transfer, of course, from South Dakota State. 49 wins there, a 50th against UAlbany, putting him tied with Kellen Moore for the most wins as a quarterback in Division I college football history. And his first opportunity would be to show off what a capable runner he is. Williams has 148 rushing yards to lead the Hawkeyes this year. It's a play pass situation and a deep drop and a long time to throw, and he's going to take a shot, and it's a shot that's converted. It's a catch along the sideline for Sam Phillips. And Drew Stevens with a chance to make it 7-0. He's made every kick he's attempted this year. Season, and then move to the Minutemen in the portal. Rocco Griffin is their leading rusher, and he'll have his first opportunity. Rocco Griffin is the running back. And he's hit in the backfield. Tried to spin away from a tackle, but Aaron Graves blows it up. Movement, Anthony. UMass averaging 7 penalties per game so far this season. And it looks like they're about to be hit with their first one tonight.
Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
Brian Macesso at the right tackle. Frankly, Peyton Miller as a guard moved as well.
And the only place that the Minutemen have been going here over the last few seconds backwards. A loss on second down, a penalty before they can even snap third down. Pressure from Llewellyn. The ball's out from Grant Jordan, but the coverage is excellent. The catch is made by Max Dowling, and the immediate tackle made by Cohen Entringer. 5th in FBS in punting average this year. Keegan Andrews just over 50 yards per punt. He gets a nice roll here. Caden Weege picks it up. Grant through 2 tacklers. He's got space. Nice cut. He's got more space. He's picked up some blocks, and he's bumped out of bounds. At the 39-yard line of the Minutemen. Zach Workworth, the tight end, moved across the formation as Madison Estrenga is out for the year with an Achilles injury suffered in the first half last week. Xavier Williams on the run, and Williams down to the 35. Anderson, who caught the touchdown passes, lined up on the left side. Williams is the running back. And another opportunity for Xavier Williams. 107 yards in the first 2 games for Jassian Patterson at running back. He's in, he stays in for pass protection. And a pass to the sideline, Sam Phillips. And that was a third down conversion, so the ball's at the 24-yard line. Here's a rollout. Phillips had a block on the right side. They throw back to the left. And a lot of blockers for Xavier Williams. This will be first and goal. He's upended and will be spotted down to the 4-yard line of UMass. That goes for 20 yards. Easily the longest for the redshirt freshman. Running back Xavier Williams. He had just 2 catches going into the game. And now looking to the right side, and it's incomplete. Phillips was the intended target. And 5 attempts, that was Gronowski's first incompletion. Second and goal at the 4. And Williams on that outside zone run. He is hit just a little bit past the line of scrimmage. Malachi Madison. Hayden Large is in the game, moves across the formation as a tight end. And Gronowski is rolling out and puts it on the money, and it's another touchdown. Nice little toe tap by Sept Anderson. He's got both scores in the game for the Hawkeyes. And this has been quite the first half of the first quarter, other than that. Griffin, he's the running back. Here comes pressure from Harrell, and it's a sack of Grant Jordan. Jaden Harrell got there. Well, Iowa is rolling here. 13-0 is the lead. Seth Anderson, who had just one touchdown reception, and his time at Iowa going into tonight has 2 touchdown catches. Here is a completion to the aforementioned Jaquan Gibson, his 20th catch of the year. Deshaun Lee bumps him out of bounds. That play went for 7 yards, but they were off schedule after the Harrell sack on first down. It's 3rd and 9. Here's more pressure. Jordan running, looking downfield, across the field, and runs out of real estate. He's forced out of bounds a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage with Max Llewellyn. 8 of Andrews' first 9 punts penned opponents inside the 20-yard line. But his low-line drive punt last time was very returnable. Caden Weegan had a 40-yard return, but this is a short punt. I said I feel really good about how well he communicates and knows the defense. This is flared out to Terrell Washington Jr. and TJ Washington on a drive for Iowa that starts at their own 48. And they're in good position here. 2nd down and 4. And Gronowski will roll out after the big handoff. A lot of time, but unable to connect on a first throw of the night to KJ Parker. He does not have a catch. Here's some motion, and throwing to the motion man, Patterson, the running back on the left side. Ball's just inside the 42, and Patterson has a big hole to run through.
But this is an offense that's looking for perhaps that singular back to emerge, especially with Kamari Moulton out of the line.
Jacob Gill with motion across the formation. Washington is the running back, and Gronowski will step up, bumps into an offensive lineman, but is able to create a little bit of positive yardage before Tim Grant Randall. Running back is Jassian Patterson. There's another 3rd down play, and it's a big handoff to Patterson. Ortberg with the catch. He's in space, easily a first down, and has it right on the edge of the red zone now. That went for 14 yards by the way. And now here's Kate Weegan that has it in around, and he's running through a hole, and it's going to lead all the way to the end zone. He dives, and he's in. Touchdown! 20 yards on the run. A little razzle-dazzle on that play for Weegan and the Hawkeyes. (20-0). Iowa leads with 2:08 left in the first quarter. Kirk Ferentz came to Iowa from the Baltimore Ravens, where he was an offensive line coach. Started in 1999 here in Iowa, and going into tonight, 205 wins at Iowa. Tied with Woody Hayes for the most in Big Ten history. Put Iowa up 20-0. Peyton Weegan with the run, and the Hawkeyes are in front. And here's a keeper by Grant Jordan. They had faked the handoff to Colorado transfer Brandon Hood. Picked up 3 on first down. And now here comes Harrell. He already has 1 sack tonight. And he was coming in hot. Hood is now back in the backfield. 3rd down and 7. Jordan has more time this time, but he runs out of time. And he is down. First quarter winding down. Keegan Andrews punts it here. Weegan, who's had a big punt return and a touchdown run, just ran out of 1 tackle, but too many bodies to elude in the end, and he stopped at the 48-yard line. This will be the 2nd drive for Iowa. Started tonight at running back, but all 3 of the big 3 in the backfield for Iowa, including Jassian Patterson and TJ Washington. They've all played tonight. A run for Gronowski goes out of bounds. This drive for Iowa ends 3 and out, and they will punt for the first time in the game. And so with win number 206, whenever it happens, and obviously things are looking very favorable with tonight's start for Iowa at 20-0, then he will move into that group. We just talked about some of the notable coaches who lead their respective sports in coaching victories in the Big Ten. Some pressure on this punt, and it's blocked. The punt for Reese Dakin is blocked, and the Minutemen have picked it up. And that's the first real hiccup of the game for Iowa. Brent Jordan making his first start at quarterback at UMass, the transfer from Yale. Griffin is running. Reese Atkins at tight end blocking for him. Pistol back. Ready the ball on first and goal. And he is wrapped up by Jaden Harrell after a short game. In his 7th year playing FBS football, Jamon Price is in the game at running back for the Minutemen. Play fake to him. Jordan. He is able to spin away from the rush, got away from Jonah Pace, keeps the ball, makes a pass, runs for the end zone, scores. Touchdown for Grant Jordan. 6 yards, and the first rushing touchdown allowed by the Hawkeyes this year. Marcus Lai handles the kickoffs. He's not the place kicker, but he's got the big leg for the kickoffs, and Peachin is going to run this out. Took it 4 or 5 yards deep, and he sweeps his way up the near sideline. Was able to elude one man who made a half-hearted arm tackle attempt, and then is out near the 35-yard line. Officially the 34-yard line for the Hawkeyes. Jassian Patterson protects the ball, and then is held up at the 38-yard line before he can go any farther. Well, they're protecting well right now, Anthony. They faked it to Patterson, and it's Sam Phillips, another big play. Out of bounds to the 39-yard line of the Minutemen. Got a foot down in bounds. 142 passing yards for Iowa tonight after that completion. And they have surpassed their combined number for the first 2 weeks. Patterson runs the ball. 3-yard pickup for Jassian Patterson from Pompano Beach, Florida. Gatekeeper tonight, just his 3rd career start, incomplete. DJ Bonami, who elevates in the tight end room now and in the tight end rotation with the injury for Addison Ostrenga. He did catch 1 pass last week against the Cyclones.
Talking to Abdul Hodge, the tight ends coach for Iowa, before the game down on the field. And he does love the potential for many of his young tight ends. But Addison Ostrenga being out for the season for the Hawkeyes, a huge loss because he's played so much football for them throughout his career. And he does the full arsenal of the tight end position well. Inline blocking, splitting out, knowing the entire playbook.
They're down at 7, 6-yard line of UMass. Pressure on Gronowski, running out of room, and throws the ball away. Well, he was being chased into the near sideline both by Tyler Martin and David Onaha. So Tyler Martin headed to the UMass sideline. He had a pick 6 at 23 yards in their loss to Bryant last week.
Really talented linebacker.
Well, we know that this is in Drew Stevens' bag because he's hit from 55 this year. This is a 54-yard attempt. Bonami's coming on the field here at the last second to block. Ty Nissen is set to hold. And let's see if Stevens can hit another long kick. He's really good on these, and that's on the money in his career now. Stevens is 10 of 15 on kicks from 50 yards plus. Played college football at Connecticut. Grant Jordan had a touchdown run of 6 yards. He stood in the pocket for a while, but now he's chased out. And along the near sideline, he is gathered in ultimately by Zach Lutmer. On 3rd down. And before Hergen can get there, the sack was made by Max Llewellyn. Keegan Andrews from Australia standing in the end zone right now to field the snap on the punt. Weechen has had a 40-yard return tonight. This is Andrews' best boot of the game, but he outkicks the coverage, so there are all kinds of lanes for Weechen on this return. Going to take it all the way down near the 20-yard line. A 32-yard punt return for Weechen. And he's had 2 long returns tonight. Here comes pressure, and Henspeeder with the sack coming in off the edge, the linebacker. Second leading tackler on the UMass defense. Henspeeder played 18 games in 3 years at Rutgers. Handoff, Xavier Williams lowers his shoulder and looks for contact. Able to bang off TJ McGee and is down to the 20. That's a run of 9 yards. Nice rebound from the loss of 7 on the sack. To see what Xavier Williams can do with his first opportunity in playing time after watching him throw in practice last year.
Great rush by Marcus White.
White had 9.5 sacks in 4 years at Dartmouth and 3.5 last year in a season playing for the McNeese State Cowboys. Here's another field goal attempt, already making one from 54 yards. And remember that it's got to be inside of the upright, and so that field goal goes over, but no good.
Yeah, so there's only one person here that can take a look at this, and that's the official directly under that post, and he's going to look straight up. And that ball has to cross completely inside of the goalpost. And now because it's above it, it is not reviewable because it's hard to get all the dimensions in to see exactly where it crosses. That goalpost extends straight up.
Well, thanks for the update on that, Steve. Here is a tackle and a crunching tackle made. Cohen Entringer knocks down Northwestern transfer Donnie Gray, who was running the ball in the end around. Gray just went for 9. Jordan's going to keep it, and he picks up the first down. Xavier Wampa with the tackle after a gain of 4 yards to the 33. This is just my thought on it.
Yep.
And that one deemed to be outside, over the top. Daquan Gibson with the catch of a low pass, but still had space and blockers to turn it upfield and turn this into a 2nd down and 3 coming up. See what Mike Bajakian wants to do. This is a good situation for an offensive coordinator. 2nd and 3. It's a roll and throw. And it's a catch made by Max Dowling. Jaden Harrell the tackle right at the first down line to gain.
It gives you that run pass option. Jordan did have the potential to try to move the sticks with his legs.
Dowling's 4th catch of the year. He's a transfer from Tennessee Martin. Bouncing it to the outside. And Rocco Griffin is thrown down by Carson Shire.
It's great diagnosis by Shire. And the play was forced to bounce because on the interior, Jonah Pace did such a great job hitting the blocks inside, so it had to be bounced by Rocco Griffin, and that's precisely where the linebacker is expected to fit. You work downhill, and then once you read it, you've got to fit into the opposing backfield. That is textbook stuff from Carson Shire.
5th-year senior from Iowa Falls. This is his first year as a starter. As Phil Parker said, he's been in those meeting rooms like all of these first-year starters. They've been learning the defense, hearing the messages in the meeting rooms. This is a short pickup here on 2nd down. The tie for 2nd most in FBS. Of course, the most, Paul Bunyan's Axe, Minnesota and Wisconsin. UMass coming out of the first half 2-minute timeout has a 3rd down and 9 at their 44. Aaron Graves a rush. Jackson Rexroth a rush. Grant Jordan backpedaling, throwing off balance, and a leaping catch is made, but short of the first down at the 50. There's also a flag down as well. The catch was made by Donnie Gray.
There are penalty markers on the field.
Officially, the ball is down right now with the 49 of UMass, with a marker down. First you had pressure from Graves, then from Rexroth, then from Shire.
Pressure from the Hawkeyes in general.
Personal
General
foul.
pressure.
Targeting. Defense number 43. Forearm to the helmet of the quarterback. That play is under further review. The contact was shoulder to shoulder. Number 43 is not disqualified from the ball game. The results of the play is a completed pass. It's 4th down.
And he'll be called into action here. He's lined up on the right edge of the line of scrimmage on the defensive front for Iowa. UMass, they're going for it. 4th and 4 for the 49. Ball's out quickly, but way too far in front of the intended receiver. Iowa for the 49 of the Minutemen. And knocking on the door of a first down immediately. T.J. McGee making the tackle on the run play by Xavier Williams.
Joe Harris-Semiak, the UMass head coach, he certainly does have head coaching experience prior to this. That, to me, from a game flow perspective, just too aggressive a decision.
And now standing in the pocket. And a throw for Williams. This will bring up 3rd down and 1 as it's incomplete. Stevens has made one from 54 tonight. And a cut back into some space for Xavier Williams, and easily obtains the first down. Piece of cake for that one for Williams to the 31-yard line of the Minutemen. And for a moment, the clock will stop as they move the chains.
No need for Iowa to be in any sort of rush right now.
Now they've gone under a minute to play. Pocket for Gronowski. He steps up, throws on the move, and it hits Sept Anderson in the hands. He can't hang on. 2 touchdown receptions tonight for Anderson. Anderson's caught the touchdowns. The biggest plays have been to Sam Phillips. Motion into the backfield for DJ Bonami. Chips an edge rusher. Bullet over the middle. That's a nice pass. Caught inside the 20-yard line down to the 16. Jacob Gill went into the night as the leading receiver in terms of number of catches this year for Iowa. That went for 17.
Drop is a big part of the point of emphasis for Gronowski, working with Tim Lester. The calm, smooth drop he's looking for.
And now a quick pass to the outside, and we see Dayton Howard in the game, and Howard with his first catch of 2025. Darion Craig with a tackle. And a timeout. Looks like it will
First
be taken
charge.
here. It will.
Team timeout, Iowa. 30 seconds.
The line of scrimmage will be the 13-yard line for Iowa coming out of this timeout. Kirk Ferentz, 205 wins at Iowa. And of course, remember that he has 9 years of assistant coaching experience at Iowa as well, along with 27 years as being the head coach. Going for Big Ten history tonight. Gronowski. And this looks like a called quarterback run for the 13-yard line. Bumped it to 5 and into the end zone. You see that big, tough body of Mark Gronowski bouncing off Minutemen and in for the score. It's his 3rd rushing touchdown this year. Drew Stevens had an extra point cannon off the upright tonight. This one almost straight down the middle. And South Dakota State, by the way, he had 37 rushing touchdowns in the over 50 games that he played there. Now UMass with the ball. Remember, they went for it on 4th and 4 and at their own 49, didn't make it. That gave Iowa the opportunity for the score and will give them a much bigger cushion going into the halftime locker room here at 30-7. Records for these teams going into play tonight: 1-1 for Iowa and 0-2 this year for UMass. First all-time meeting between Iowa and the Minutemen from Massachusetts. And a fair catch. So it will go out to the 25-yard line for the Minutemen. Speaking of UMass, well, that wouldn't be the worst strategy. Max Dowling went in motion, a jump cut to the outside, and then swerving back inside is Rocco Griffin, and he gains 8. And another run for Griffin, and a first down picked up. Aaron Graves drags him down to the 39, but the gain of 6 on 3rd down and 2 will move the sticks. Saw left guard Sullivan Weedman, who had been out the first 2 games, transferred from West Virginia. He just went out for UMass. Oh, and this is dropped. It is a forward pass, not a lateral, but dropped by the normally sure-handed Jaquan Gibson. They move Brown over to left guard, but Weedman, the left guard, going out for UMass. Donnie Gray just went in motion across the formation. And here comes pressure. Graves hits Jordan as he throws it, and he overthrows Gibson. Will they kick it out of bounds? No, they're just going to kick it a long way. Wow, Keegan Andrews, an over-the-shoulder catch by Weechen at the 5-yard line. And then he's run all the way across the field. Weechen, what a night! What a return! He's going to go! Caden Weechen, an over-the-shoulder catch at the 5! And no way! To increase the lead to 30 points on the extra point by Drew Stevens. And the action will begin with Rocco Griffin running the ball, hit by Carson Shire, but after contact, he's still able to drive his way forward to the 31. A gain of 6 for Griffin. Iowa leading. UMass has not converted a 3rd down in 6 tries tonight. They've also gone for it on 4th down and then 4. Jordan stepping back. Got a lot of oomph into that throw and too much, perhaps, as he overthrows Jake Quan Gibson, who had TJ Hall running alongside him in coverage. Look, the last punt by Keegan Andrews was a big punt. It forced Weechen into a very difficult catch, and he will not have a chance to recreate his magic and make another Willie Mays style catch. Obviously, tonight's the night where Ferentz is poised to pass Woody Hayes for the most wins. Big Ten head football coach looking for number 206 here at Iowa. To throw Gronowski on 2nd down and 8. And he just completed his 12th pass of the game. Going to the ground to catch it is Dayton Howard right at the yardage needed for the 1st down. At the line to gain the 40 as Ryan Barnes was on the coverage. More on that here after this 1st down play, as it's a run for Iowa for 3 yards as Patterson is down. Running play, Patterson, and Patterson picks up a 1st down. That was 2nd down and 7 to 43. Yeah, Dunker has won it twice. The last 2-time champion was Cade Pieper. There's Gronowski rolling, and there's a catch made along the sideline by Patterson. So far, so good on the drive. Moving to the 44, a turn and toss. And TJ Washington with the run. They turned it upfield. Dragged down to the 40. Kendall Bournes. And he may have another opportunity here on 3rd down and 4. No, they look to throw. And Hayden enlarges the target. And he's able to make the grab. Bumped out of bounds, but picks up the 1st down to the Minutemen 34-yard line. Got a nice block, and then throwing the ball again to Hayden Large. For the 3 years that he's played here at Iowa. And another turn and toss, and Patterson able to stay on his feet after some initial contact, but ultimately going down short of the 1st down at the 26.
And a lot of the conversation around the Iowa offense so far this season has been, well, why aren't you throwing the ball vertically? You go back to the opener against Albany, they thought.
As Patterson runs it again and absorbs some contact, 1st down. A grinding drive here, good running game and short passing down to the 23. Running with some tempo here on this, as this is at the 22 officially, and down inside the 20 into the red zone. They've had some shot plays to your point tonight, Anthony, but now a time-consuming drive and another 1st down. Patterson slips one tackle and then can't keep his balance and find the end zone, but plunges inside the 5-yard line.
The Iowa O-line runs off the football.
Even with the tempo that they played with on this drive, coming up on 7 minutes of clock time on this drive, as the tackle's made by Marcus White. Crashing down off the edge, White with the tackle. Iowa had a couple of 16-play drives last week. This is their longest drive of the night. How will it end with Gronowski eluding the rush, stopping, maybe thinking about a throwback across the field, and he's eluded a couple of tackles. Oh, the ball is fumbled forward, and then caroms out of bounds off a player. And to give Iowa 40 points in tonight's game, he does precisely that. So A.J. Hairston does have some experience under his belt in his time at UMass. He's out on the field, and Hairston's first pass, that is, of tonight's game is incomplete, as he was looking for Jax Markovich on that particular play. So 4 passes this year for Hairston, 73 attempts in 4 games last year, 5 touchdowns last season, and 6 in total, either through the air or on the ground in his UMass career.
This freshman out of Pompano Beach, Florida, they're really excited about the arm talent that he brings to the table. Arm strength for the most part right now with the live arm he displays.
Just the 4 appearances last year. They didn't burn his red shirt. So red shirt freshman from Pompano Beach. Hairston throws the ball, and it's caught. And it's the preferred target of whoever is playing quarterback for UMass. Another catch for Jaquan Gibson. Now a running opportunity and a crash at the 49-yard line of Iowa. So that goes from 149 to the other one. Their next game is on the road against Missouri after that bye week. Hairston, and ball's batted back. Now Iowa's going to chase this here, but now it's been ruled incomplete. The tip made by Luke Gaffney, junior defensive tackle. Back into the game is Grant Jordan. Hairston been the quarterback on the drive, and now Jordan returns on 3rd down and 10, completes a pass, but short of the first down. Tyree Kelly caught it, but out of bounds, that is, at the 43 of the Hawkeyes. This is the 2nd time they've gone for it on 4th down in the game. Hairston back in, and also in the game is Brandon Hood. He's split out, 4th and 4, incomplete. Both 4th down plays have been 4th and 4, and both of them have been unsuccessful for the Minutemen in this game, as Zach Lutmer was on coverage of that pass intended for the tight end Markovich. He didn't have dreams of being a longtime head coach. He just wanted to be the best offensive line coach he could be. By the way, from 1981 to 1989 at Iowa for Hayden Fry, he was an outstanding offensive line coach before going on to be the head football coach at Maine Anthony, and then in the NFL as an offensive line coach for the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. But he found his place, and he found his people.
Kirk got the gig.
McNeil with a big run. And the true freshman. Here's a throw for the end zone by Hank Brown, and incomplete for KJ Partner. Follow that up in a moment. Nathan McNeil running again on 2nd down and 10, and he was hit at the 27 by Tyler Martin.
And him returning to the program, to a lot of folks' surprise. Bob Bowlesby, who was the athletic director at the time, made that hire to bring in Kirk Ferentz. And here we sit with him on the cusp of the all-time wins lead in this conference.
The longest tenured coach right now, of course, in FBS. McNeil catches a pass out of the backfield, hanging on for the ride and keeping him short of the first down for UMass. It was Rashad Henry. Kirk Ferentz heads towards history. We've got 11.5 minutes into the game, and some very special moments in store as this game comes to and ultimately reaches its conclusion. It's not officially in the books yet, but will be soon. TJ Washington pushes this Iowa drive further down the field. Zachary Ferris bumps him out of bounds. It will be first and goal at the 2-yard line. Big plays tonight. Now a chance for a touchdown throw, and it's on the money. KJ Parker from Hank Brown. A.J. Hairston, by the way, in the game for UMass at quarterback. He's going to look to throw here. We've seen the arm talent tonight, and we see it again. A throw to the sideline for the longest play of the game, yardage-wise here for UMass. Got to take your shot when that opportunity presents itself. And done so successfully, certainly more often than not tonight for the Hawkeyes. Here's heavy pressure, and Hairston's safety valve pass at the last minute is dropped by Brandon Hood. Bill Parker's been here for all soon to be 206 of those wins. DB coach from 99 to 2011. Ooh, that is a poor punt. Line drive, maybe a partial tip. Ball goes out of bounds.
Number 60, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Almost midway through the fourth quarter. Kirk Ferentz won game number 205 when Iowa beat UAlbany in the opener. That tied him with Woody Hayes for the most coaching victories in Big Ten football history. So we are 8.5 minutes approximately away. Boy, there's some of that ability of KJ Parker. Put his foot in the ground and made a man miss and turned upfield at the 30-yard line. And here in the fourth quarter of the game, Hank Brown has had a chance to show some of his chops in terms of that passing game. It's been predominantly opportunities to run, but we have seen some passes along the way here.
He's smooth with the pull from center as he receives the QB center exchange.
And just hands the ball here to McNeil, who has had a lot of opportunity to play. McNeil with another opportunity, trying to bounce it to the outside, but nowhere to go as he's stopped by Timmy Hinspeter, among others, at the line of scrimmage. One of the lead stories will be the occurrence of what's going to happen here when this game goes final in just over 6 minutes here in Iowa City. As Kirk Ferentz poised to pass Woody Hayes for the most coaching wins in Big Ten football history. Going to be a screen pass here. It's caught by McNeil. He's had all the touches, and this is going to be one of his biggest and best opportunities with the ball. Got out into space on the pass. Zeron Daniel, who's been one of the starting caliber players for UMass, who's been injured in the early part of the season, is playing tonight. Perhaps a bit unexpectedly, going down to 5 on the depth chart. Brevin Dahl, who has dealt with some injuries. Got a second down and 9 play here as we head towards the last 4 minutes of the game. And the historic number 206 is less than 4 minutes away. Ball is at the 15-yard line. There was a player down a moment ago, Rashad Henry, for the UMass Minutemen, and he was helped off the field during that brief timeout. Brevin Dahl with some carries. Now Nathan McNeil is back in the game. And tight end Michael Burt is in the game as well. Now for Iowa, here's a pass by Brown, and KJ Parker, but doesn't hang on to the ball in that opportunity. Iowa's gone for it on 4th down here one time in the fourth quarter of the game. They go for it again. This is at the 15-yard line on 4th and 7, and the run for McNeil will come up short. And so UMass will take over on downs at the 11-yard line with 3:25 remaining in tonight's game. Talking about all the breakdown of the numbers for Kirk Ferentz's wins over the years. There will be something new in the equation tonight in that Iowa and UMass have never played. So it's 64 different programs that Ferentz has a win against. And now Kirk Ferentz 2 minutes away from win number 206, the most for any football coach in the history of the Big Ten. Anthony, it's very special that you're about to get the chance to interview him. I just saw the handshake between Bill Parker and Kirk Ferentz a moment ago. He got the Gatorade bath. We just saw the last snap of tonight's game. The players are surrounding him, and the final seconds tick off this historic win. In a few seconds, it is official. In college football's oldest and most decorated conference, there's a new man atop the rung of the ladder of legendary coaches. It's official, number 206 for Kirk Ferentz on September 13th, 2025, 47-7 over UMass. And Kirk Ferentz passes Woody Hayes for most coaching wins in Big Ten football history. Roll that counter over from 205 to 206.
Yeah, I was up there a few moments ago.
That's fair.
Snuck down here to be with you on this moment. Kirk Ferentz, it was almost 26 years ago to this very night, frankly, that you had that first win against Northern Illinois. And now here you are, 206 victories, the all-time leader in the history of Big Ten football coaches. A milestone that seemed like it was eons away. You've arrived at it, Coach. Did this seem plausible on that night back in '99?
It's the last thing in the world I was thinking about. That was hardly a pretty win, but they're all pretty. But you got to start somewhere, and that team dug in, got it done, and things just kept going from there.
As those things back then continued to ascend crescendo, to get to this moment that you're at right now, passing names like Stagg and Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler. I know how reverential you are about the history of this sport. What did those legends mean to you in getting to this point?
You know, that part's surreal. It's not something you think about, and it's never been a goal of mine. Being a head coach was never really a goal, so start there a bit. You know, the whole concept was just do as best we can at whatever you're doing, and things have worked out. I found a great place and been around a lot of great people over 36 years actually here, so it's been pretty good.
To have, in the years you've been here, 5 kids, have your wife be with you every step of the way to get to this point. They've played for you, your sons have even coached for you at this point. What has Hawkeye football meant to the Ferentz family?
You know, that part you can't put a price tag on, having your kids on the team. Luckily, I didn't have to coach them directly. That was a good thing. But, yeah, that's been special. We started our family here, 1983. So just so many good things about being at Iowa. And I didn't even know where I was in 1981. So that's a good life lesson. But it's been special every bit of the way. And our family's been a big part of that. And certainly my wife, Mary, you know, I mean, she lets me go out and play every day. I play a kid's game.
Everyone has gotten to witness the way that you've led this program. There's been so many years of players. I know you've heard from them throughout the last couple of weeks leading toward this potential milestone. I've certainly heard from them myself as well. What has been sort of the core DNA of what you've looked for to shape Hawkeye football?
Good people. I mean, it starts right there, and that's been the common denominator. Going back to the 80s again, that's what I learned here at that point. So that we've been so fortunate. So many great people, your teammates, guys that have come after you, and the coaches involved here, the support staff, go right down the list. You know, it takes a lot of people to make this work.
Part of the thing that we tried to tell the story of tonight was the fact that Hayden Fry, of course, back at that point when he first brought you onto this staff, Joe Moore was a big part of that reason that you got that vote of confidence from Coach Fry. What do those two individuals, your mentors specifically, mean to you?
I've been so fortunate. I've had outstanding mentors. Many of them that were intentionally trying to mentor me. Others you just learn from by watching. Players, coaches, right on down the list. But those two guys, Coach Moore just poured into me in 1980, even starting before that. And then somehow he taught Coach Fry into interviewing me. And I had the job before I got here. I'm convinced of that. The two of them hit it off. But, there's nobody in the world that would have hired me. I was 25 years old as a GA, and he hired me out here in the Big Ten. So that was one of the unique things about Coach Fry. He just had a vision, a willingness, had the guts to do things that weren't conventional. So I learned so much from him as well, and every step of the way I've worked with great people.
Certainly that legacy of Hayden Fry continues to envelop so much around Hawkeye football. One of those things I know Coach Fry would have loved, the vertical pass that you've been building towards now in this third game. You told me the offense was likely to get explosive. How pleased were you with the way that passing attack grew tonight?
We're not there yet, but we're stepping forward. I think we made progress tonight. First and foremost, we showed up and played hard, which we've done that all 3 weeks now. So just seeing incremental gains is a big thing. We need it because we're going into the Big Ten now. We got 2 games here before our break. So we've talked to our guys about a 5-day block or a 5-week block. Now it's on to the next one. It's a short week, so we better get some rest.
And in that short week, what are you hoping to accomplish between now and facing Rutgers?
More progress. I mean, I thought our guys really played hard tonight. Still a lot of detailed stuff we can get better at, and I think everybody in the room realizes that. So we'll enjoy this tonight, and then tomorrow we got to get back to work and may have to impose a curfew for the first time ever tonight.
Well, hopefully you will find a moment to enjoy it, Kirk. Congratulations so much. And losing in Ames last week, obviously unfortunate, but gave you the opportunity to do this, achieving history at home at Kinnick Stadium.
It's special to be in Kinnick. It always has been. It means a lot to me personally. So I would have liked to have gotten this done a couple years ago, but it is what it is, and we're all thrilled.
Kirk Ferentz, now the all-time wins leader in the history of Big Ten football.